Pentiment, welcome back, dear friends and deep thinkers. We are Miss Druckeryn, Magdalene Druckeryn, and we want to find out a lot about the famous history of Tassing. A lot of people have died here, and we will make a mural instead of our father, who had a stroke. And he was beat and then had a stroke. And now we want to finish that before he dies. So that's very important to us. And the others don't really want that, but we convinced them that we could do it as we wanted, and we have again got mysterious warnings about everything. Now we have a few people that we can ask about Tassing's early history. We wrote Mother Illuminata. Martin Bauer stole one of the copies. And we have a lot of Tassing's early history. That was about the book Hysteria Tassing that was missing. We could ask Martin Bauer. Might have a book on Tassing's history. Also thought I should write to Mathieu, Kiesau's old sacristian, about the Christian history of the town. Il Peter has been around forever. He might remember some of the old stories. Black Till's grandfather read a lot about Tassing's history. Maybe he's made a family tradition. I think we are going, and to Smoky we can go to. Let's find out if the Bowers have the book. There's something. That is actually not Martin. That is Jobst Ferber, now calling himself Martin Bauer. Morning, Magdalene. How's Klaus? We say enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Martin Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassing is a better place, thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back all this time. He's become sturdy now. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So, what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I was involved in what happened to Otto Zimmermann, and I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here. Tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Brigitte and Kraft. Kraft? Oh, yeah. I've done enough back-breaking work for this family. Can't a man just have a god-armed rest? For this family, not for my family, he says. Brigitte supports you in all this, doesn't she? That's a wife's duty. Take note, Magdalene. We get along, though she often spends more time with Veronica than me. They've been good friends since childhood. Yes, we are. Say to him, yeah, good to have friends. He has none. Right, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Wait, I almost forgot the reason I came to you. I'm trying to learn about the history of Tassing. I was told you could help. Me? What do I know about history? Mother Illuminata told me you borrowed a book of local history from Baron Rothvogel. Mother Illuminata? Oh, you mean one of the old nuns from the convent? Sure, a book. I might have taken it back then. That was a lifetime ago. I can't remember the book or what I did with it. Those years are a blur. Probably threw it away somewhere or left it at home. Wouldn't have been much for me to do with a book I can't read. Too unique for me to have sold to. No one outside Tassing cares about its history anyway. Maybe I should ask Brigitte if she remembers anything about it. Sure, couldn't hurt. It was decades ago, but she's the one who remembers shit. Thanks for the help, I guess. If there's nothing else, I've got work to do. Until later, Martin. Until then. All right, let's ask Brigitte after the book. Magdalene, how are you keeping? I'm eager to continue work on the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas. I'm certain it will be the pride of Tassing when you're through. You've always had your mother's talent for art. And how is your dad? You're one of the only people, we asked, who've asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through. Whatever the doctor says, we need him. God willing, you're right. I am at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I can't think that far ahead right now. You're right, of course. Focus on the here and now. Be here for your dad. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who would be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? You must mean us. Hey, he's about as subtle as his father. God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. I wish I'd got to meet him, probably, I mean. He made an impression, that's for certain. Oh, the girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was Eva's from the start, as Ötz appears to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. You're trying to set me up with your son? Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magda. Any family would be lucky to have as a daughter. I guess I'll consider it. Thank you, sweet girl. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time, believe me. If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together? God knows, he brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in providence. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said, whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. Oh, before I forget, I actually had a question about an old book. Martin's supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh. I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. Why do you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was, holding his stolen book. All the people having the book were killed. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. But she can read. I could take it off your hands. No one would ever know you kept it. I trust you to be true to your word, Magda. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of a difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Ah, Historia Tassiae. The famous book. We finally get it. We finally get it. Oh, it's in Latin. I can understand a few words and phrases. I'll take a closer look in the evening. Thank you, Brigitta. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Brigitte. Until later. Sweet. We did it. We really did it. Okay, all right, all right. So, we've got the book about the early history. The very early history, Historia Tassiae. Then we're going to Tassing's early history. So, Martin Bauer. We'll go to Il Peter, Black Till and Smoky Curler. The Coal Man. Hey there. Old man. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? What's that? I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, huh? It's been so darn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. There's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. They're spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town. What sort of spirits? The sore that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach you patience, Magdalene? Sorry. It's Pershta and her wild hunt that scare them evil ones away. They've protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Rettus. Why isn't Rettus a Latin name? Eh? The ending on his name is the masculine singular ending, common on most male Roman names. Plenty of names end with the same letters doesn't make them Latin, does it? Now quit your yammering and listen. Folk weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Rita's people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Ritus went hunting, found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would, he held the beast and loosed it from its bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Okay, spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Rita's action and took favor on him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ritus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those god-armed Romans came and destroyed everything, but you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. That's why a few of us still honor Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. It's a wonderful story, perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good, nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? Pah! I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days, and still our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. Yeah, that's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural. The mural? Fine, fine, but I don't know any of the old Roman shit. All right, all right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. Oh, I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I leave you to rest, then we say God bless you, Peter. What, into the mines? Yeah, way down into the salt mines. People used to work may have left something behind. Might be, might be. There's a lot to do, right? There's Black Till here. We want to visit Black Till and then the charcoal burner. And when we're at the charcoal burner, we can also enter the old salt mine. Why not? Let's see. Hey, Big Yorg. Ah, Magdalene, how are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess. Maybe Endris should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but well. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. I didn't realize you had such an interest in hinges. It's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all the homes in Tassing. That's Paul, young man. What do you think of the idea, York? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know. Speaking of, I'd better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda. See you later, Jorg. I guess we should talk to everyone along, so we get also stories of the day. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much. Has he said anything to you about it? Mainly he's relieved that they don't need to make a decision about the matter anymore. Says Veronica. He runs the farm just fine, but being on the council has made him think he has a say in everything going on in Tassing. Town business is all he talks about these days. Those men are bad influences on each other, if you ask me. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check of the hinges on every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creaks? To be fair, I mean, with Tinker, if your hinges creak, the door's integrity is at stake. Yes, well, I don't need to check every door in my house every year. Like it's a feast day. If there's a creaky hinge, I'll hear it. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Artemis and Apollo. They're twins, right? Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. I haven't seen them recently, but they like to mess around in the forest. Maybe they wandered off here. Oh, that's her kids. The Shears twins. Ugh, this town isn't that big. I don't know where they get to that I can't find them. Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. I don't think anything will stop the twins from going their own way in life. You're right, Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Anyway, I'd better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. Oh, Clara's also still around. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How is Klaus? Neither of us is doing well. I'm having trouble coping with the stress. Dad's been hard to understand recently. Oh, God. I will keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to help. Oh, thank you, Clara. That's very kind of you. I've been so busy in the rat house. I've let the house go a bit. Not to worry, I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat, and chatter makes chores pass quickly. With all my children up and grown, and no husband to care for anymore, I've got to make myself useful somehow. Which Peter? I heard that Peter was crazy. I don't know. Big York's still in the house though, isn't he? Oh yes, but he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Eva's taken care of Ertz, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together. Ah, okay. Ertz, Ursula and Fabian. They don't need me anymore. But isn't that a good thing? Heavens, yes. I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering. There's so many years of tending for them and maintaining a home. I don't know what else to do. You should come by the workshop. I have some books you might like. Oh, thank you, Magdalene. You're a sweet girl. I'll come by soon, all right, to help with the chores and the books, of course. I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you, Magdalene. Ha! We've got someone to help us. Nice. And she'll accept books. So maybe we can talk to her about books, too. Getting these people an education, aren't we? Ah, good spirits. And then the mural to add to it. That will be great. Hey, Andres. What the hinges. Hello, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Reezy and I are very worried. Alive, and that's what matters. Did you discover who attacked him? No, whoever it was, they left no sign. A terrible crime, terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Fortunately, Dr. Stoltz appears to have found his purpose. I remember him being so sad when I was a girl. Ha! You're still a girl. He was once the picture of arrogance, masked as sadness, I think. Like to talk about how he was destined for better places than this backwater alpine town. How he was meant for the courts of kings. No longer he grew up. What changed? The revolts, no doubt, changed everyone. But he is the one who saw the bodies. He's not a heartless man, Magdalene. He deserves our compassion. But I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Reezy and I can do for you, let us know. I will thank you for the kindness, Indris. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. Let's talk to Reezy. Is she also a character? Hello, Mistress Druckeryn. How's Klaus? Indris and I have been terribly worried. Yeah, that spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. Reezy, if there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Indris is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I'm originally from Innsbruck. How did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day this man appears at the store, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamoured, as if a candle had been lit. Endres is a man of talent and means, after all blessed with a kind soul. How did it feel to leave home for someone far away, uprooting yourself from the life you had? Reezy says, frightening to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind, but it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. It's such a... this game is like providing wisdom everywhere, right? That's... it's very inspiring, Rizzy. I'm glad you found happiness here. We all struggle in this world, Rizzy says, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, benevolence guiding us, His benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Endres either. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget you are important as well, and deserve to live your life. All right, I have to assist Endres with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. And Matilda. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Voicelab. How are you two? Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring some soup for you and your father. Dad would love that. I'd hardly had a moment to cook a hot meal. Between your father, the shop, and the mural, I'm surprised you're not dead on your feet. He's very lucky to have such a devoted daughter. And before you worry about imposing, Voislav says, you're not. Taking care of your neighbors is how Tilda and I serve Tassing. Tilda, our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. Yeah. What we say is, it's hard to imagine you two ever lived in the Abbey. Voislav, sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. We ask, were the Benedictines anything like the poor Clares? Matilda, we lived simple lives of devotion, but not that simple. Matilda, I'm given to understand they don't make art in the convent now. Such a shame in that beautiful workshop. In any case, a nun's vows include dedication for a simple life, all the challenges that it entails, but I struggled. My vows, my discipline, I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Voislav. You fell in love, we say. We did. Well, I seduced her. You certainly did not, Matilda says. Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me then, Voislav says. Voislav, please, haha. So you left the Abbey. Till though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate at my heart. Voislav, that and being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you. And rightly so. Tilda, we all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Voislav, those were the hardest years of my life. Till I repented and prayed to God to absolve me. I mean, she could also be that. Voislav, but the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. Matilda, the Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. I can't imagine that the townsfolk were too happy to let you stay. So there was some suspicion at first, yes, but we proved useful the days following, and soon they came round. Matilda, the Lord forgives more readily than a man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. I'm glad you two are finally able to live life together. You both deserve it, we say to him. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together, Matilda says, voice love. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless. And there's more people. There's so many people that we can talk to. Fabian, good morning, Magdalene. Ursula, hello, Magdalene. Hello, that's... Hey, Mags. Got your way with the mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. Can be pretty stubborn when I want to. That's clearly I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, even I couldn't get a word in. Then you come in and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in the town. What do you mean by that? It's Magdalene says. Well, you know, you're headstrong and willing to give your opinion and damn what anyone else thinks. You really think so? Well, yeah, I wouldn't tell you that otherwise. You're an admirable woman. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. It actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He's always poking fun at me too. Maybe I should remind him he's not that important after all. No, but I don't like to see him so upset, even if he's an ass sometime. Maybe I should reassure him. What did we now say? Only because the council doesn't let me be involved. Being the youngest one on the council has been harder than I thought. I know Balthus and Werner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make room for any change. Yeah. Talking about his being young on the council. Keep pushing us. They're stuck in the past, but we're looking toward the future of Tassing. Thanks, Max. Magdalene? It'll take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually. Well, better get back to it. See you later, Max. And who's in the Kreutzer house as well? That interesting old man, Blacktill. But let's talk to Christina. Magda? Hello, Christina. Did you see the froggies on Sunday? I think everyone saw the frogs, Christina. They were all over the church. I've never seen so many together before. Father Thomas was so angry, but I think it's funny. Mummy says the twins did it, and they're an example of children who don't follow the 10 Commandments. Well, the 10 Commandments don't say anything about frogs, though, do they? Christina, I don't think so. Does that mean they won't get in trouble with God? The only ones they got in trouble with is their parents and Father Thomas. I don't think God cares about sneaking frogs into the church. Christina, oh good, I like them, even if the adults have to scold them. Mum scolds me sometimes too when I do something bad. That's why I try to listen to her and behave and say my prayers. A smart girl, Christina. Thanks, Magda. Mommy says so too. About Mummy. Hello, Eva. Magda, darling, Ötz isn't here, I'm afraid. Oh, that's all right. I can find him later if I need to. I think he wandered off toward the rat house. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. That's sweet of him. He's been dropping by the rat house more often as of late. Eva, he's quite fond of you. I'm surprised he has any time to visit, though. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry, too. I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can, but there's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. Yeah, I'd jump at the chance to leave Tassing if it didn't mean Dad would be left alone. I imagine Ötz felt the same. I wouldn't have been alone. I have Mom and Jörg and the rest of the family to help take care of. Besides, they keep me busy. I'll never want for anything with Ötz and the community here in Tassing. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Ötz. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Oh, yeah. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about time to start finding a match too. It's wonderful that God blessed Endris with a wife at last, but I'd rather not have Ötz be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Anyway, it's good to see you, Magda. You too, Eva. Always shipping everyone on us. Hey, Blacktail. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Yeah, that's old Till. Do you have a moment? Of course. What do you need? That says you've been obsessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Limonata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Like till fertile fields, that is, seemed like old port shards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Grandad's reading came from the Abbess library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? Till only a few. Grandad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than books. Don't keep me in suspense. Didn't your dad ever teach you patience? I'm trying to build up some anticipation here. Right, so we don't have any books on the old pagans, but we do have their stuff. Shards of current pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountains of salt. Even found a little bear carved from ember. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things. Fabian too. Any farmer would tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. And where are you keeping these things, Blacktail? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. Their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. Magdalene, I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. Like till they weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I'd say, but like Till says, most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tassing was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. We say I'd always wondered why they'd settled in such a small alpine town. Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there? Like Till, I don't know. But anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out of the fields. Magdalene, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. Magdalene, what if there's stuff that could help me with the mural? Magdalene, that mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. It's worth it for the mural. I want to try my best for Dad. Like, I imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Then help me get down safely, and he won't have to worry. We can persuade him. Okay, we were impatient. That wasn't good. You're bull-headed, just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please, Till. All right. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gotten in a time or two. No doubt they have a trick. And Balthus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you too. Thank you, Till. Don't mention it. I'm serious. Don't! This has been a big help. Like Till, glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the rat house tomorrow, if that would help at all. Yeah, that would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. Oh, he cares too. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the lordsmen. They are strict, worse now than they used to be. Magdalena, I'll be careful. Until tomorrow. Until then, Blacktail says. What are we going to do tomorrow? Let's see. But Ertz is still here. We could ask Balthus for help. Yeah, I mean, we're basically his apprentice, right? So, there's definitely that. I can smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Dad always bought anise cakes from Gret to help soothe my stomach when I was ill. Good. Having the talk, getting to know the people. Where is... Oh, I remember. He was shot. Gret is here. Magdalene, darling. Good morning, Gret. It smells heavenly in here. Gret, oh, haha. I've just finished rolling out some resin bread. I thought that Andreas and Ulrike could use a treat today. Ulrike. Ah, yeah, she's Ulrike's daughter. The kids. Oh, maybe she's a granddaughter. She's her granddaughter. Oh, what a sweet idea. I had some spare time today, and I like to stay busy. The soul of the diligent shall be made rich, after all. Besides, I like to drop in on Anna and see my grandchildren. There she is, yeah. I'm more blessed than I ever imagined I would be. Paul and Anna make such a lovely pair. Ulrich wouldn't believe his eyes if he saw us now. I wish he could see his grandchildren. Yeah, your daughter married the son of the man who killed your husband. Whoa, crazy. I'm sure he's rejoicing with all the saints in heaven, Grit. I do hope so. He was never much for emotional displays, but I still remember his joy when Anna was born. You know, I was angry when Anna first took a liking to young Paul. He was always a quiet boy, but I was afraid he'd turn out like his father. Well, I needn't have worried. Paul is a good man and a good father. He's built this town back up from what it was. It's good to see Elsa so social now. She's come out of her shell. That's Elsa. I think not having to live with Leonard helps. Yeah, she's been asking me for recommendations for the ladies' reading circle. But how wonderful. You are the one to ask for such a list. I would join her group myself, but I'm just too busy with a bakery by myself. But I don't mind that. It keeps me busy, and I get to see everyone in town when I deliver to them. I've been chatting too long. My doughs need tending. Please excuse me, Magdalene. Of course, great until later. Everyone's busy, and we're just hanging around. Or are we? Let's go to Dr. Stoltz, and then to Balthus. Oh, there's Carl. Hey, Carl. Good day, Mistress Druckeryn. Oh. The Rathaus is the biggest building in Tassing now. Balthus' clock took ages to build in place. Anything here? Anyone? Any note? I hope there's no note here. That is important. Werner. Hello, Magdalene. How are you? Well enough, considering the circumstances. I'm glad to hear it, Werner says. You're being admirably level-headed, given your challenges. For what it's worth, though Klaus and I haven't always seen eye to eye, I've always respected him. Dad respects you as well. Thank you for saying so. Over the years, I've grown to find his stubbornness admirable. It's a quality you share, evidenced in your work on the mural. Thank you. This must be part of the Lord's plan. I must trust that he put you in this position for a reason. All the same, the council does not want to regret their lenience. I will make Tassing proud. That remains to be seen. Go on then, I have patience to attend to. Until later. To Isenkopf. Who is that guy, eh? Ciao, Magdalene. The Heartbreaker. Balthasar. Magdalene! Magdalene! Is that his apprentice? Always doing nothing? Yes? The cinnamon just arrived for the beer. You're making beer? Well, yes. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. Oh, I thought it was... No, let's say, huh? It's for the Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely into November. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful, Balthasar says. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. That's you. Jesu Christu, Arshachadanaru Fasetutu. He who has the money can't do everything. Jesus Christ. Problem? Of course not. It's your money, Nazir says. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Nazir, clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Nazir's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. Really? Yes. The farmers had so much rye this year, they couldn't use it all. Gret, Made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw out a lot. So why not make beer? Yes, why not? Thank you. Do you know Tassing's salt mine? I need to find a way in. Any chance you could help me? To get into the salt mine. Yes, you must be on quite the adventure. Ideally, we could rig up a double pulley system to lower and raise yourself in the shaft. But that might take a while. Magdalene, well, I would like to go in today, if possible. Of course, of course. What a good length of rope suffice. You could brace against the wall of the mine shaft. You're strong enough to support your own weight. Magdalene, against the wall, I think so. Excellent. Thank you, Baltus. Of course. Here you go. Don't be careful, though. Do be careful, though. Make sure the ropes are secure. Magdalene, I will. Until later. Good luck, Magdalene. So we need some kind of rope now. I bet Baltus has something that can help me. Aha. So he told me that we would need rope. But where do we get rope? Where do we get rope, though? Here? Baltus' workshop. I wonder if we can do another lesson soon. Yeah. Matthew. See you. Where would we get rope? I think there might be a rope there. No. Not in the Stolz house, for sure. Now we have to look for rope, really? A rope. I think there was a rope in the rat house. Not really, eh? I mean, there are some rope things, but not entirely. Carl, good day, Mistress Druckeryn. Go to Central Town. And to the Steinauer house. Oh, yes. Agnes. Good morning, Magdalene. Brisk weather today, isn't it? And still Kraft is out there, working with Father Thomas to repair the church. I worry about that boy sometimes. He works the stone, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. Masonry is a good trade. Everyone needs a stonemason now and then to repair things. Agnes, that they do. Lucky always harped on about how being honest and trustworthy is the most valuable currency. How in this life hard work and reputation matter the most. Kraft has taken that to heart, I think. He does a lot of good for the town. I've offered to find an apprenticeship for him, but he won't make his darn mind up. He deserves a chance at the life he wants. He's lived in his father's shadow for too long. He's a good man, Agnes. You should be proud. Everyone's staying in Tassing, right? Thank you, Magdalene. I've done my best for my household, despite what's happened in the past few decades. Well, you didn't come here to hear me ramble on about my family. What can I do for you? I thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. Agnes, Werner's not enough. I understand Klaus' condition is dire, but I thought Werner would be able to provide something. I know it won't save him, but I still want to try everything I can. Because every little bit helps, huh? I understand. Let me see what I can whip up. I can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some small help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene. Take care. Nice, nice, nice. Can we go up here? No. Not at all. Let's talk to Kraft. Hey, Magdalene. Kraft means, like, power, strongness. In English. Let's have a look at Dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Dad? Magdalene. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Dad. There's a rope. I see that rope. I can see it. Cannot yet write. We cannot yet sleep. Yeah, so thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We're gonna get a rope together and get down into that mine in the next episode, I hope. So have a great time until then and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon and happy gaming.